Hi guys, my name is Marie, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a personal trainer and I post new videos every week. And our puppy here, Boba, loves to accompany me. So for this video, I want to go over deadlift form and how you can get into a hip hinge, which is the movement used for a deadlift. Because honestly, I think deadlifts are one of the hardest to learn and to teach because it's such a strange motion. So I wanted to create this video so that way it can help other people get into a deadlift or hip hinge a lot better. So from my own personal experience, deadlifts were really challenging to get into because I kept squatting them, or I kept squatting, and it took me a long time to realize it's not a squat. And same thing for my clients. I think deadlifts are one of the harder ones to fully understand because of that same reason. I think we're more used to squats and lunges as opposed to deadlifting. So for this video, I'd recommend getting a PVC pipe. You can get it from Home Depot or any hardware store, or maybe even use a broomstick. Just anything you can hold behind your back. So grab it if you do have something, and let's get started. Okay, if you don't have a stick, that's fine. You can just pretend. Also, you'll grab a weight. I have a kettlebell here just because it's easier. I also do not have a barbell and plates. So for this video, it's more of a kettlebell deadlift, but it's the same hip hinge motion, which is what we are trying to learn and master. Okay, so you're gonna have a stick behind your back. Right hand is behind your neck, left hand is behind your lower back. Boba is wondering what this is. No, Boba, stop. Okay, I don't want to poke her in the face. Okay, so it doesn't matter which hand is on top or bottom, but it does matter that the stick is behind your head, upper back, and tailbone. Okay, so then that we know that this is neutral spine. Because I think one of the biggest issues, again, with deadlifts is like people will hunch their back like this or excessively arch their back, and you want it neutral, so a little straighter. It's not technically straight because you have certain parts of your spine where it curves, but you know what I mean. All right, so holding the stick behind you, I would say your feet are about between hip and shoulder width. Your toes are forward, so keeping the stick touching those 3 points. You're going to bend your knees and bow forward, reach your hips behind you, and then come up. So if you've ever done yoga, we're gonna do another one. Kind of reminds you of forward fold because you will feel the stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. So bend the knees, reach your hips back towards that wall or whatever is behind you as you bow forward, come up. So this will help you, hopefully I don't hit her with a stick, it'll help you stay in neutral spine as you hinge your hips back and come up. If you want to, you could also switch hands. This is also a good shoulder mobility test. This is what I do sometimes with people. So hinge, come up. Ideally, we should be touching the back of your head, upper back, and tailbone. If it doesn't, you may need to adjust. Good. And I may make more videos in the future about shoulder mobility because I think that's a big one. If the stick isn't touching behind your upper back. Nice, we'll do 2 more. Again, if you don't have the stick, you can just have your hands on your hips and hinge back. And then I like to think of this, you know that little toy bird that would dip in water and come back up? That's exactly what you're doing. Okay, nice. That was with the stick. So another trick before I do deadlifts, in that same stance, feet are about hip to shoulder width, somewhere in between. Chest is up. I'll take my hands and I will chop at my hips. So at my hip bones. So now my hips are going back. If there's a wall behind you, I would say even go right in front of the wall, and you'll want to touch your glutes or tap your glutes to the wall and come up. So you still bend your knees, right? But they're not going over your ankles and toes, because now that becomes more of a squat. A hinge is more like you're bending over to pick something up. It's more of a front and back motion, right? So you're dipping down, coming up. Let's say you're picking something off the ground, coming up in a safe way. Versus a squat, usually my stance is a little wider, my toes are out, and I would sit down, come up. You kind of see the difference? So your knees are going over your ankles and toes, as you come down and up. Versus a deadlift or a hip hinge, your hips are going back as your chest and head go forward and then up. So again, feeling glutes and hamstrings. And for the sake of this video, this is just a deadlift or more of a conventional deadlift. There's a Romanian deadlift and a stiff leg deadlift, which I'll probably go over in another video. I think that'd be a great idea. All right, if you have a weight, ideally a kettlebell, just because it has a handle, that way you can hold on to it. If you have a barbell with plates, awesome. Or a trap bar or a hex bar. So that's the one where it looks like you're enclosed in a little hexagon. Why they call it a trap bar, I guess because you're trapped in there. Only difference between that and the bar, like the kettlebell, is that the handles are on the sides. Sometimes I like to use it with clients because with deadlifts, since your hands are in front of you like this, a lot of times people will hunch, especially when the weights start getting heavy. So sometimes having the hex bar or trap bar with the handles on the side, it prevents them from hunching their upper back too much or having their shoulders roll forward. Anyway, so with the kettlebell, your stance may need to be a little wider. Toes are forward. So kettlebell's in between your feet, the handle's in line with the middle of my feet. And let's do that same chopping motion, but make sure everything is straight or neutral. So head stacked over your shoulders, hips, ankles. Okay, chest is up. Engaging your abs, you're going to chop your hips back. So my hips are reaching back, everything's still staying neutral. Knees are bending. Okay, so now you're gonna grab the kettlebell handle and move it a little bit. I think it was a little too close. Okay, so arms are straight. You're going to squeeze your shoulders and your back. So that is going to engage it. I haven't even lifted it yet, but my body is engaged. So my upper back, core, and even my glutes feel it right now, just because of this position. Okay, so arms are straight, everything's engaged. You're gonna exhale, stand up tall, and slowly tap the ground. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, tap the ground. So I'm staying in this hinge or deadlift as I come up and down. So inhale down, exhale up. Another thing I find with deadlifts is people will hyperextend or overextend here. You don't need to do that. You just need to stay straight. So I think there is a string on top of your head like a puppet, just pulling you up like this, right? You're not gonna overly pull that way. You don't need to. So here, come down. So right now everything, my knees are bent, but as I stand up, you're gonna straighten them. Straighten out your hips, come up. I would say lock them out, but sometimes if I tell people to lock it out, it might be too locked out. So just think standing up straight. And again, engage your shoulders and your back, because sometimes as you get tired, it starts to hunch like this, and we wanna protect our spine. So engage your abs, back, lats, arms are straight. Your arms are just holding the kettlebell. That's it. They're just holding it. The main movers are your glutes and your hamstrings. Let's do one more. Up and down. Nice! Ooh, that kind of shook the living room. Nice job, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know deadlifts and hip hinging can be a bit of a challenge to master, so I hope this video helps. If you have any other questions or would like to train with me, you can email me. I'll put my email in the description below. I also have tons of other workout and stretch videos, so feel free to check it out on my channel. If you'd like to collaborate with me, you can also email me. And lastly, if you want to stay up to date with all things Move with Marie, or you want some fitness and nutrition tips, you can sign up for my newsletter. I'll also put the link in the description below. And until next time, bye.